Hey, this is Anne from Magnify. One of the things I love about our platform is the amount of data that we bring in and then present back to you in a really easily understandable way. So I'm going to run a search for invest in large caps and show you some of the data sets that are powering our platform. Invest in large cap funds. And when I see these results, I'm actually going to see the percent allocation that the fund is invested in large cap companies. And that just means the number of shares multiplied by the share price is over $10 billion. So as I see these results, I'm seeing a mix of mutual funds and ETFs, and I'm seeing that large cap allocation. And what we've done is we've gone and looked at the actual 10Ks and 10Qs of the companies and looked at what percent of the underlying holdings actually are large cap companies. And if I want to see more, like what companies are actually represented in this fund, I can just click on this drop down menu, scroll down to top holdings, and then I can see what companies it's invested in, as well as the percentage of ownership within the fund. So I can see that this first fund is 9% Microsoft, 7% Alphabet, 7% Apple, all companies that I know, really big companies. And I can see where they're based by clicking on regions. So this fund is 99% in developed markets and 98% in the United States. And I can even look at things like the assets under management. How big is this fund? The first one is 33 billion. The next one is a little bit under $1 billion. So if that's important to me, the assets under management, I can actually take a look at how big the fund itself is. Other ones I'm interested in might be diversification. So this is actually the number of holdings within the fund. So I can see this first fund actually owns almost 300 different companies within the fund. This next one, only 31. A different example I like is looking for large cap funds that outperform the S&P 500. This is really cool because it's a way to see a large cap fund that's actually performing better than the market. And so we're actually pulling in data about the performance of the S&P 500 and then comparing it to how this fund has performed over the last 3 years. So in this first example, I can see this fund has outperformed the S&P 500 by 24% over the last 3 years. And this next fund, 86%. And what's really cool about this one is actually this is a semiconductor fund. So, I ran that search for large cap allocation. And even though it's not showing in that large cap category, this fund is actually 99% invested in large cap companies. So even though it's semiconductor, I'm still getting that large cap exposure, even though it's not necessarily in that category I was thinking of. So those are a couple of searches that I like to run and some of the data points I like to look at. And they really help me to just conduct my searches and look at the information in a really quick, easy way.